friends, and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Miss Nuccia and I'm from the Winfield Public Library, and today we are making lolly cake from New Zealand. Now this cake is extremely popular at birthday parties and you'll see it all over New Zealand. And it's such an easy cake to make. And do you know what lollies are? Lollies are candy. We can't find lollies over here in our grocery stores, but a substitute is the marshmallows, the colored marshmallows. Malt cookies are difficult to get here too, but a good substitute is Maria biscuits or social tea biscuits. And they use 200 grams of butter, but one stick of butter is 113, so I did the math. We're going to add another half a tablespoon of butter, and that should be 200 grams. Then after we get it all ready, we're going to roll our lolly cake in shredded coconut. But because the malt cookies have a little bit darker color, I'm going to add just 1/8 of a cup of mini chocolate chips, just to give it a little bit more color. And that's about it. This is extremely popular. And the kids will have fun making this cake because it's a no-bake recipe. You can take a Ziploc bag and a rolling pin and they can crush them until they're like all crushed and powdery. I'm going to use my food processor. So I think that is about it. We're going to start, and this is going to be a really fun recipe. I'll be back in a minute. So now I'm ready to measure out 4 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. It's pretty thick. Just need 4 ounces. Wow. Or half a can. Almost there. That looks good. And a stick of butter plus half a tablespoon. And I'm going to take this to the microwave and melt them. I'll be back when it's melted. So as you can see, I melted the butter and the sweetened condensed milk together. And you can tell in the can, I still have half a can left. So not to make noise, I crushed my cookies, my Maria cookies, and I'm going to put them in my big dish. It's easier to do this, but the kids will have fun using a rolling pin. Then, as you can tell, I still have some of the marshmallows left in the bag. I used like a little over 3/4 of a bag, and I chopped them up in half. So I'm going to add my butter in here. You're supposed to put it in a big bowl and just put it all together, but this is just as easy. And I'm going to add just 1/8 of a tablespoon or so of the chocolate chips. I'm going to add my marshmallows that I've cut up already. And I'm going to stir it all together. I probably should have melted the chocolate chips, because actually now I'm noticing it's not a bad looking color. But you can't go wrong with more candy. That's what I think. It is pretty sticky. Oops. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some plastic wrap and we are going to roll it in the plastic wrap. But before that, I have coconut here, just a half a cup. I'm going to sprinkle it in a container and we're going to roll it in here in a minute. I've got to get this incorporated a bit better. It's always fun to do something that doesn't have to go in the oven. You can speed it up and put it in the freezer for about an hour. I'm just going to put it in the refrigerator for a few hours. And then see. You could use your hands. Perfectly all right, especially if they're washed. Especially if they're washed. Okay. Oh. It is sticking together. Yes. I'm going to make 2 logs, 2 small logs. It'll be easier to roll. And then I'm going to get my plastic wrap. But there's nothing difficult about this recipe. At all. It's almost there. My marshmallows are melting a little bit, but that's okay. Okay. I should have brought, I'm going to wash my hands and get the plastic wrap before I continue with anything. I'll be back in 1 minute. So I'm going to roll it in the plastic wrap and then it is pretty greasy. So now this one I did before, and I'm just going to roll it and then get fresh plastic wrap for it. Let's see. It's easy, but a bit messy. Here's my fresh plastic wrap. Then unwrap it and roll it in the coconut. I put about a half a cup in the bowl. And now I got fresh paper here. And it doesn't have to be exact. And this is going to go in the refrigerator so it sets up. And then we'll be back to cut it later on. It'll probably, you could speed it up in the freezer, but I'm just going to put it in the refrigerator and do something else. Okay. Here. It's separated a bit because it was warm, but it'll connect. It'll bind once the butter and everything cool. Okay. And that's it. I've got 2 of them. They're going in the refrigerator and we'll cut them up when they're set. I'll see you in a bit. I just took the lolly cake out of the refrigerator and they're nice and firm. They've been in the refrigerator for close to 4 hours. This is better if you do it at night. I was so impatient, I kept checking the refrigerator. The rolls are nice and firm. And you're supposed to cut them. It is nice and firm. Ah, look. In 2 centimeters, I'm going to do about 1/2 inch. Don't they look pretty? Okay. Well, I'll cut them all up. You see how pretty they are? No baking required. That's what I love. I'll put them on a plate and I'll be back in a minute. And this is the second one. I tried using a serrated one. Didn't work as well. Just used a regular knife. And I'm cutting them about 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch. Oh, so pretty. Another thing that's very popular, and this served in New Zealand, is the recipe I did this summer, the toffee, lava toffee. So you might want to check that out. Doesn't it look pretty? Oh, now I need a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. I'll be back in a minute. Well, this was really easy, and I can't wait to do it with my grandchildren when I see them soon, hopefully this summer. We'll spend a weekend together and we're going to make lolly cake and we're going to have lots of fun. So try it. Let me know how it turned out for you. And I'll see you soon at the next recipe. Bye, everyone.